Ian?
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm a part of a delegation of United Church congregations and ministers who are, some of whom are coming down and two of whom are going to speak to the committee this afternoon.
Yes, we've made it to
Reverend Andy Crowell and Dixon Challoner will speak on behalf of the delegation, and they'll introduce themselves. Thanks.
Along with others who have made this acknowledgement, may I as well, City Councillors and Madam Chair, we acknowledge the land on which we meet this day rests on the historical territories of the Mississauga, Port Credit, Haudenosaunee, and Two-Spirit people, and the dish with one spoon, wampum. I trust we will discover that there is room for us all, but there is one dish and one spoon. Thank you for this opportunity to address you as a standing committee to our City Council of Hamilton. My name is Andy Crowell, and I am a United Church minister and ecumenical chaplain to McMaster University. I'm here along with my colleague Dixon Challoner, an engaged member of New Vision United Church, to speak on behalf of a United Church of Canada delegation behind me in support of the transgender and gender non-binary protocol. We are not the only contingent speaking in favor of the protocol who self-identify as a faith community. But whether faith-oriented or not, we stand in solidarity with all voices who champion the protocol's vision and its origins in human rights. The city's proposed protocol states, in accordance with the Ontario Human Rights Code, the city recognizes the dignity and worth of every person. Compare this to the value stance of the United Church of Canada and our ethos. The United Church of Canada affirms that all human beings are made in the image of God and welcomes people of all gender identities into full membership and ministry. God loves us all. This statement is a proactive, value-based position inspired by the gospel message of love, not a gospel message of phobia and fear. Therefore, we stand alongside any viewpoint, religious and secular, whose stance serves this principle of education and love. And we seek to contradict and counter any voice, religious and secular, that does not. We're not here to argue issues which the Human Rights Code already affirms. This would insult the already established position of a transgender, gender non-binary person to legitimately self-determine. We are here to ensure that the diversity and dignity of human beings who identify as transgender and gender non-binary, already codified by law, be upheld and honored in practice, and we are here to reinforce the conviction that such diversity and dignity is a beautiful and bona fide expression of the image of love, the image of God. Civic authority recognizes this as the law. Religious authority identifies this as moral. Moral authority sees this as human. Our support for this protocol is limited only by the manner in which it might best be implemented, not whether it is to be affirmed and approved. To these points of implementation, Dixon will now speak.
Good morning, and thank you, Andy. So my name's Dixon Challoner, and I'm a member of the Affirming Committee at New Vision United Church, and we're a congregation that gathers actually within sight of this building and has a deep commitment to nurturing the health and inclusive diversity of communities in Hamilton's core. New Vision recently celebrated its recommitment as an officially affirming congregation. Becoming such a congregation is not a brief or trivial task. Affirm United, the organization which provides oversight and sets standards of commitment for congregations seeking this designation, has a clear process of congregational learning, policy writing, evaluation, and follow-up that must be completed and maintained. The point of these requirements should be clear. They are to ensure a baseline level of competence, commitment, and ongoing learning. Based on our affirming experience, we urge the Standing Committee to ensure that the staff report in front of them contains provisions to enable all city staff to attain a similar baseline level of competence, commitment, and ongoing learning regarding trans and gender non-conforming identities. Without a clear and appropriately resourced implementation, as well as a measurable follow-up process, this protocol risks becoming another dead piece of paper rather than a living expression of this city's vibrant, humane culture. We ask that this committee ensure that there is a clear, adequate budget and staff time allotment for training city staff at all levels, especially frontline staff, of course. Furthermore, we live in a city with a rich diversity of talented and knowledgeable trans and gender non-conforming individuals, a large sample of whom you've already heard this morning. We ask that the Access and Equity Office foster connections with the trans community as they develop staff training. The LGBTQ Citizens Committee, as you've also heard, is another tremendous resource. Please consult them. Our most significant concern, or continue to consult them. Our most significant concern with this report, however, is the absence of clear milestones to follow up the initiation of training. We ask that proposed timelines for completion of training, for training evaluation, and for any necessary remedial training be made available to this standing committee and to the public. In conclusion, New Vision supports the City of Hamilton in its commitment to equity and to serving trans citizens with respect and competence. We know that systemic cis-normativity means that all organizations and governmental bodies must be highly intentional in valuing and affirming trans lives. We applaud the City for joining the growing ranks of institutions that are active in this life-giving movement. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Are there any questions for the presenters? Seeing none, thank you.